you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Minister Ibrahim revealed that the recent floods left several landfill sites inundated, preventing nearly 3,000 tricycle waste operators, popularly known as Aboboya, from disposing of household and commercial refuse. He warned that without reopening of the facility, the situation could have escalated into a major public crisis. The minister noted that user fees at some transfer stations had become unaffordable for informal waste collectors, forcing many to resort to unauthorized dumping sites. He stressed that this practice worsened environmental pollution, particularly after floodwaters carried waste into communities such as Dansuman. The executive chairman of the Jospon Group, Joseph Siao Ejapong, described the reopening as a timely intervention. He disclosed that the facility was established in 2015, following a government-led tour of Turkey, but could not sustain operations due to absence of an unexpected government subsidy. Mr. Ejapong called for sustained government support, arguing that sanitation could be treated as a public good rather than a commercial venture. Citing China and Turkey as examples, he noted that governments heavily subsidize waste infrastructure to protect public health, prevent disease outbreaks, and safeguard the environment.
Moving on, widespread flooding has killed at least 59 people in Ivory Coast since the rainy season began in mid-May, according to the government. Spokesperson Amadou Coulibaly made the disclosure during a cabinet meeting on Wednesday, describing the death toll as particularly high for such an early point in the season.
Coulibaly noted that the rainy season, which typically runs from late May to late July, brings landslides and flooding that kill dozens each year, especially in poorer neighborhoods. He expressed concern that the toll was already significantly high, given that the season had only just begun. Flooding remains a recurring problem in Abidjan, the economic capital and home to more than 6 million people, where rapid urban growth has led to widespread informal housing in flood-prone areas. The government reported that more than 10 people were killed in the city in just 2 days earlier this week. Authorities noted that some 20 deaths occurred in Atikube neighborhood, where victims had returned to sites previously cleared by authorities. Coulibaly stressed that no death has been recorded at high-risk areas, where residents complied with government safety instructions and agreed to relocate. For several years, the government has carried out eviction and demolition operations, targeting precarious neighborhoods in flood-prone zones. With the rainy season still in its early stages, authorities are urging residents in high-risk areas to heed safety warnings and avoid returning to cleared sites.
Moving on, gold smuggling from the Democratic Republic of Congo to Uganda is on the rise, according to a new United Nations report. Experts assessing the situation in the DRC for sanction review pointed to stark discrepancies between Uganda's stated gold production and its export levels in 2025.
The UN expert noted that gold extracted in areas of Ituri controlled by rebel groups is subject to international sanctions over concerns that it is illegally mined and is being used to fund and exploit conflicts in the region. The findings have drawn renewed international attention to the link between illegal mining and armed conflicts in eastern DRC. Last week, the United States sanctioned a Rwanda refinery accused of processing gold illegally extracted from eastern Congo, signaling growing pressure on countries and businesses benefiting from conflict minerals. The UN report adds to mounting evidence that smuggling networks are undermining both regional stability and international sanctions frameworks. Experts are calling on Uganda and neighboring countries to strengthen mineral traceability systems, increase transparency in gold export reporting, and cooperate with international efforts to cut off funding to armed groups operating in the DRC.
Also, thousands of Malawians are returning home from South Africa after citizens-led group targeted undocumented foreigners, blaming them for rising unemployment and pressure on public services. The groups set an unofficial deadline of June 30 for migrants to leave the country, but for many returnees, the journey home has brought a different kind of hardship.
Among those who returned is Ahmadi Asani, who left Malawi for South Africa in February 2025 in search for job opportunities to support his family. He recalled that upon arrival, everything seemed fine, but the situation deteriorated rapidly in recent weeks as hostility towards undocumented migrants intensified. Asani said he was among the lucky ones offered free transport home, but noted that he had returned with nothing and faced an uncertain future. Asani said he would not return to South Africa under any circumstances, recalling how migrants were forced to flee from the police and some were hit by cars in the chaos. He said he would rather live in poverty in Malawi than face such dangers again. His account reflects the fear and trauma experienced by many who face the difficult journey back across the border. Fellow returnee Hawa Troku echoed similar sentiments, saying she had come back home with nothing and did not know how she and her children would survive. Her story is far from unique. Nearly 15,000 Malawians returning from South Africa are facing the same uncertainty in a country where 70% of population already live below the poverty line. For many of these returnees, rebuilding a livelihood in Malawi will be a major challenge after abandoning their jobs and lives in South Africa. The influx of displaced migrants is adding fresh pressure to an already struggling economy, raising urgent questions about reintegration support and the long-term welfare of those who have come home with little more than clothes on their back.
The Wole Soyinka Theatre at the University of Ibadan in southwest Nigeria continues to shape the next generation of African performers 7 decades after its founding in 1955. Named after Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, the theatre has become a proven ground for actors, directors, and producers feeding talent into Nigeria's film industry and beyond.
Among those finding their footing on the historic stage is 21-year-old student Adebayo Israel, who credited the venue with giving him his confidence as a performer. Theatre instructor Tunde Awosami noted that the department had produced actors and academics who went on to develop theatre departments in every university across Nigeria. The theatre recently staged Midaye, an African adaptation of the Greek tragedy Medea, performed in a mix of English, Yoruba, and Pidgin, accompanied by songs, traditional dancing, and live musicians. The production drew playwright Femi Osofisan, the first African to receive the prestigious Thalia Prize, who attended a week of events marking his 80th birthday. Actor and producer Iyanu Oluwa Ajibike described the theatre as a pool of talent, bringing together actors, directors, costume designers, choreographers, and sound technicians under one roof. The melting pot atmosphere, performance is what makes the Wole Soyinka Theatre truly distinctive. The theatre's reach extends well beyond Ibadan. Actress Ejirugene Asagba, who found her footing on the Wole Soyinka stage, said the theatre was important for telling not Nigerian stories, but African stories, as the continent often shared the same political, social, and cultural challenges. Her dream, she added, was to tour Nigeria and the wider continent, though costs remain a hurdle.
That is all for the top African stories. My name is Jemima Daladem Doche. Up next, is News Review. Stay tuned.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
Africa's next generation of leaders is rising, and Cairo is the meeting point. The Association of African Universities, AAU, proudly present the AAU African Student Leadership Summit 2026, bringing together student leaders, innovators, researchers, and changemakers from across the continent. Happening on the 17th to 19th of August 2026 at Cairo, Egypt. This is more than a summit. It is a continental platform for leadership, collaboration, innovation, and shaping the Africa we want. Register now using the link on your screen. For more enquiries, call or WhatsApp us on the number on your screen or contact via email showing on your screen.
Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello and welcome back to the Hello Africa morning show, coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. My name is Philemon Edwards, and just gone by is the top African news, and we're just about to get into the news discussion review with my brother, Dr. Ajima Nochedako.
Hi, Phil.
How are you doing, sir?
Doing great. You know, they call it the jollof rice morning. A morning that kind of smells good, has flavor, has sauce.
Okay.
That kind of morning, yeah.
Okay, so is this the Ghana jollof or the Nigerian jollof?
Definitely Ghana jollof. I don't want issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're having a good morning, in spite of what happened over the weekend.
Black
Stars crashing out of the World Cup and all of that. I mean, how did you take that on a Saturday morning when you woke up? Did you watch the game actually?
So in fact, I watched the game, and I was advised to stay away from the game, but I was so curious I had to watch the game. And you know, watching the game overnight at dawn, I think I woke up in the morning with a high temperature, higher than what it was earlier on, and I became concerned, asking people, "How did you feel? How did you feel?" So I got malaria, I got fever, my blood pressure rose, and I had a woman also passed away.
Oh, again?
Yeah, she passed actually during the Ghana-Panama match.
Oh yes, that I heard.
Yeah,
but that one was quite a story because then we had won. So I'm not sure why that happened. But
no, you see, it takes a lot of blood pressure to go through a 90 minutes Blaster match with all the chances we get. Yeah, the chances we get that we miss, and the goal that we get to score, and the fact that we also create chances for other teams or for our opponent to also try to score. Yeah. It's kind of like messes up with your blood pressure.
A roller coaster of emotions.
She actually went out to celebrate, and then during celebration, I think she fell.
Oh my goodness.
So I think our heart goes to the family wherever they are on the loss of the woman. She's quite an older woman.
Okay.
But her love for the Blasters was high.
Yeah.
And you know, now we are advised to kind of regulate and
hopefully nobody dies again from football. Not necessarily from the Black Stars, but hopefully from no other country or any other family.
We pray so.
Anyway, so we'll get straight into the discussion this morning. We'll begin right here from Ghana. So the Ghanaian government has launched a national post-flood cleanup and recovery exercise in response to the devastating floods that struck the Greater Accra region and parts of Volta region and central regions on June 29. A national post-flood mitigation task force led by Brigadier General Foster Okan-Yeboah of the Ghana Armed Forces has been activated to coordinate all relief, recovery and mitigation efforts. President John Dramani Mahama conducted an aerial assessment of affected communities before directing the activation of the task force and committing 350 million Ghana cedis to support emergency relief and flood mitigation interventions. The Ghana Armed Forces will lead operational response in collaboration with NADMO, the Ghana Health Service, the Environmental Protection Agency, and other agencies. The nationwide cleanup will prioritize restoring public safety, clearing waterways and drains, removing debris and collapsed structures, and preventing secondary health disasters such as cholera and typhoid outbreaks. Illegally erected structures within waterways may also be removed where they pose a danger to public safety. Doc, we have seen this thing before.
Yeah.
Where the entire country is concerned about what the outcome of floods are year after year. Mm-hmm. We talk about them, we debate about them in parliament, we do all the shenanigans, and at the end of the day, there's little action taken to make sure the flood does not occur? I mean, when I was having this conversation with someone earlier, at the time this incident happened, this person was saying to me, even in America, there are floods. Absolutely, that's true. But those floods will always occur when you have excessive rain. But in a place where you have structured drainage systems, people not building in waterways, you hardly have these kinds of things happening.
Yeah.
So for a country like Ghana, who has this record year after year, there's almost always one or two major floods that distorts things. What do you think about this?
Yeah, Phil, I think that as a country, we should now understand our meteorological patterns. We should understand our rainfall patterns, that each and every year we have rainfalls from the month of May, April, May, June, July.
Yeah.
We know these are rain-prone moments. And it's diverse. It can fluctuate. It can be extreme. It can be lesser.
Yeah.
I think the last time we saw 100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think yesterday, I got a message from the Ministry of Interior that will be having rainfalls from 4 to 7 a.m., which were 40% probable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these things keep happening. But as a country, we should understand that over the period, the trends have proven that we are within the rain season. And therefore, when we are approaching this time of the year, we should then be very cautious of what, go and check the drainage, go and check if we are prepared. Because from now, if you're a government, you should know that when you enter the second quarter, you should get ready for anything.
Yeah.
No matter the extent it may come, but ensure that your drains are clearer, ensure that you've done your expansions, ensure that waterways are safe, ensure that you have put this in place to mitigate any adverse effect of the rain. And that is what proactivity calls for.
Okay, so 350 million Ghana cedis. That's what the government is committing to put things right in this regard, to make sure that these things do not recur.
Yeah.
First of all, do you think it's enough money in the first place? And what do you think should be the right way of making sure, aside relief items, the problem is solved?
You know, Phil, first of all, no money is too much money or enough money to exchange a human being's life or purchase somebody's life, unless perhaps we're doing it diabolically. So nobody has a price tag. 350 million Ghana cedis is no amount of money to pay for the lives of 35 or 37 people who have been displaced, or I would say died through the floods. However, it is an approach to at least salvage the remains that we have, compensate the people who have been heavily affected by the floods. Now, for the first time, I commend government. At least it's a step. It may not have been a proactive step, but what we see here, it's a reactive step. I believe that this step isn't going to be the remedy, but it's going to be followed with proactive actions. Because if you cash out 350 million Ghana cedis, it can't solve all the problems.
Absolutely.
I mean, cars that were spoiled, if we put it all together, it can't solve it. The lights and everything. But at least it can help somebody buy back the furniture, the bed, the refrigerator that they perhaps may have lost. And the question here is, how equitably, what scheme are we using to ensure that everybody who legitimately was affected will be compensated? That's what the issue is. And we know about these issues. Fast forward some years to come, they will call for an inquiry committee to come and check, probe into how these monies were spent, because it will not go to the affected persons. It would be shared amongst the top people. It will not go anywhere. At the end of the day, government made an intervention. Yes, the news will say government made an intervention. He provided 350 million Ghana cedis to be used to recover. However, how many people got recovery? So we always say our system is such that it lacks transparency, it lacks integrity. And with that reason, you can do all you can do from the top level, but I would say the pathway to the real people who need that intervention is less than what
we expect. It's bleak.
All right. So let's look at the entire task force that have been put in place for this. The decision to put the Ghana Armed Forces at the operational head of the recovery effort reflects the urgency, okay, and then the scale of the crisis. Largely because we all believe, or most people believe, that the military brings discipline, logistics capacity, and heavy engineering equipment that civilian agencies may lack. So people are actually applauding that. But then again, it also raises questions about the long-term role of the civilian institutions such as NADMO in a disaster response, and whether their capacity needs to be strengthened or not. Because NADMO, we know that exists for things of this nature.
Yeah.
But now we are involving the military. I mean, to me, it's not a bad thing, because they have, like we said, they have the machinery, and they can be able to augment what needs to be done to help the situation. But at the moment, they have been put in charge of the situation.
You see, I was telling you about the integrity and transparency of this operation.
Yeah.
That's where we see rising eyebrows on who should be involved. I mean, appropriately, the National Disaster Management Organization should be in charge of this, because that is their job. And it's also a way to also strengthen their infrastructure. I mean, this flood was gruesome. And I don't know if we can put them on the screens again. If we still have the heart to see it again.
It was crazy.
Properties, people, in fact, this is the peak of it. We saw properties being flooded, properties being broken down, cars, vehicles being swept away. Now, we are putting together a task force, and we put the Ghana Army as the lead. It clears the doubt, or it actually raises the doubt that maybe it's a matter of integrity.
Okay.
That's why the army is involved.
Okay.
Maybe it's a matter of discipline.
Okay.
That's why the army is involved.
Okay.
But the question is, whether the Ghana Army, NADMO, Ghana Health Service, since they are all security related, they are all, I'll say, essential services within the space of Ghana. It's not a backup position. It's just trying to create a more multi-stakeholder approach to this case. So I agree with the composition.
Yeah.
My point is that, are we able to pinpoint that the following people were assisted? They live here and there. We were able to assess their conditions based on the quantum of goods and services or goods or properties that they've lost.
Yeah.
What criteria are we using to find these people and support them? And also, not forgetting that during the events, that eventful moment, we had, I would say, institutions like the Ghana Fire Service, because the Ghana Fire Service at that moment had a fire issue to attend to at Kwame Circle.
Yeah.
And they complained they had no boats to navigate themselves or to transport themselves to that place, because road was off track.
Yeah.
So you couldn't do boats. They had no boats. This means that whilst government seeks to recover what has been destroyed, he also finds a way to strengthen his institutions so that they become capable both on road, both in water. Because they just needed boats to reach a home to quench fire, but they couldn't. So we need to find a way. It's not only about cashing out money to recover what has been lost, which you cannot recover entirely. But it's more important to find ways and means to strengthen your institutions so they can also help salvage these properties when they are undergoing damage. Rescuers.
Yeah.
I mean, somewhere in the States or somewhere in other developed countries, you find helicopters navigating during the floods.
Yeah, true.
Throwing ropes into water bodies where people are flooded and then picking them up.
Yeah,
we didn't see helicopters, I would say, hovering around the country at that time. Nobody was going for rescue, because where vehicles could not permeate, how will you get there?
Yeah, that's absolutely.
It was later on that we saw the president hovering around, seeing the effects of the flood, not to come in and rescue
people.
So we need to prepare us as a country if we really want to stay serious when it comes to saving lives. Because at the end of the day, we've lost lives.
Yeah.
But here we are cashing out money.
bodies are still being recovered.
Yes,
as of this
you can imagine.
Yeah.
So if we really intend to save lives, let's strengthen our institutions, and they will do their job. Because government cannot be cashing out 350 million Ghana cedis every year, or for how long this will be, just to save, recover what has been lost. If it happens again, he will have to cash out again.
That's a lot of money, if you ask me. Anyway, so to further discuss this, we'll be joined by our brother Oheneba Kojo-Safo, the founder of Bus Stop Boys.
Okay.
He's a Ghanaian youth-led activist. That's a Ghanaian youth-led activist group that has spent years on the ground and across communities, cleaning drains, removing refuse, and advocating for lasting solutions to the city's chronic flooding problems. Now, long before the cameras arrived after a disaster, the Bus Stop Boys are already in the streets, and they are doing their that work many argue that government should be doing as a matter of routine. So we would have our brother Oheneba join us. Oheneba, good morning. Hello, Oheneba, can you hear me? Oheneba, can you hear me? Okay, it doesn't look like Oheneba can hear me.
I think he's online now.
Is he online now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, can the technical team assist us because if he's online, we are unable to hear him from here. Okay, whilst we are working on the technical problems, Doc, let's talk a little bit about health when it comes to the situation. Already, Brigadier General Kanye Yeboah has specifically flagged the risk of cholera, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases in the aftermath of the floods. Okay, and he says standing water damage sanitation infrastructure and displaced populations create conditions in which disease can spread rapidly. So at this point, the Ghana Health Services role in the task force will be critical, and early public health interventions could prevent a secondary crisis from compounding the primary disaster. Now, I don't know if you saw some of the videos that were circulating on social media where various food vendors had also been affected, okay, and people were already speculating that regardless of how much these things have been affected or their raw materials that they use in cooking may have been affected, people may still want to find a way to clean them and want to use them to still prepare meals and sell because they bought these things and they will not want these things to go bad. And same for drinking water as well. We saw the amount of water that went into our water bodies, and already we are struggling with galamsey and dealing with all of these things. I mean, what do you make of the health situation?
I mean, after this was a disaster, right?
Yeah.
And properly, I mean, I always say that countries that cherish the lives of their people, and I say this with caution, countries that cherish the lives of their people take such disaster serious.
Yeah.
Take such disaster occurrence very serious. And they take time to think about how it happened. But I mean, it feels like in Ghana, the loss of life isn't really something we really take serious.
That's a good question.
I think only when you find people in political positions losing some people close to them, that's when they really take things seriously. But when it's just anybody out there, nobody cares about you. Because any serious country will declare a non-negotiable state of emergency.
Yeah.
Because not one, not two, 30 plus lives have been lost, and bodies are still undergoing recovery.
Yeah.
Everything should be left standing. Everything should be left, and then all attention should be put into where did we go wrong? Is it meteorological wise? Is it engineering wise? What is the safety of the people?
Yeah.
Because everywhere where there was flood, the question is, what is their safety post the flood? I know some communities that after the flood, they've not been able to move back to their homes
Yeah.
because the trauma alone,
Yeah.
the fact that they were in their homes, they saw water thronging in, flooding up, their refrigerators were electrocuted.
Yeah.
Even
Some people
ECG
actually died because of electrocution.
Yes, ECG substations got flooded.
Yes.
And so they
Yes.
had to take the lights off.
Yeah.
Gas stations were vandalized by this rain.
Yeah.
And this happens for a day, and then we see some agency from the Ministry of Interior saying nobody should stay home just for one day, and after one day, everybody's we're back to normal. We are back to normal. Are you for real? We should declare a whole SOE so that we look at the matter very well, because these people who are affected have a lot to go through.
Yeah.
Come on, it wasn't just furniture or TV; it was buildings which were ransacked. I saw this picture where the building's front area, where you open the door, only existed. The back roof,
no.
everything.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's a disaster.
Yes. I saw these people pulling out a dead cow
Oh no.
that had perhaps drowned in the flood,
Yeah.
and they were pulling it out. You see, and the people of Ghana too, we also contribute to this kind
Absolutely.
of situation where we're not taking serious.
Yeah.
Lives have been lost, properties have been vandalized, and here we are pulling a dead cow from the water, and people are shouting, "I want the head, I want the feet, I want the back." it tells you
That's a free meal.
and that is how come our politicians are able to say, "Oh, I mean, the people they even are looking for dead cows. Like, they're not really serious about
Yeah.
accountability."
Yeah.
If we are really serious as a country, we would be out there asking for accountability,
Yeah.
seeking that government freeze everything, makes the whole place an emergency issue. Let them go and find a solution. If they have to dredge the Odona, is immediately. If everything will be emergency, because we are serious in this country. We are serious. But here we are.
I like the argument from the serious standpoint, because one of the major issues when we talk about being serious is illegal structures in waterways.
Yeah.
It is crazy. I mean,
Will be demolished by now. By now, waterways are cleared by now. I still know build. Okay, I think we should reach out to our guest.
okay, right. I understand Oheneba is on the line now. Hi, good morning, Oheneba. Hello? Oheneba, can you hear me?
Good morning, I can hear you.
We're struggling to hear Oheneba right now. Good morning, Oheneba. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. We are struggling to hear in the studio. Can something be done about it, please, so that I can be able to speak to? We can be able to Oheneba.
Okay, so I think I'll proceed.
All right. So, Oheneba, if you can hear me, I believe that the audience probably can hear you as well. So let's go with begin the conversation regarding the floods in Accra. So the Bus Stop Boys, you have been on the grounds in Accra's communities for years, cleaning the drains and sounding the alarm of flooding. When you see the scale of the June 29 floods, what went through your mind, or what were your thoughts?
Okay.
And for decades now, Ghanaians, we have become reactors. So when something happens, we are quick to go and look at what is happening and then probably turn it into a national conversation. But right after that, nobody is now asking how exactly we can prevent those things from happening again. So things happen to us, but we don't learn the lessons of what happened to us. 11 years ago, a station that took over 50 plus lives. After 11 years, I went to the same spot, and the exact things that caused the flood and eventually the fire was still existing, was still happening. So I think that as a nation, we have become reactors, and it's about time we shift from being reactors, thinkers. I think being proactive to every situation is less expensive If you look at how many millions of Ghana cedis is being used to compensate people and to keep them, to revive their lives back, just 10% of the same amount can equally bring us to a certain standard where we can either limit the impact of the flood or even deal with it entirely. Because the honest thing is this: in as much as I've heard some politicians talk about the fact that even in America it's flat, we should also not we should also pay attention to the fact that what caused flooding in America, should it cause flooding in Ghana, nobody will survive it. Ours is go to Mallam Junction, people are built in wetlands. Go to all the other places that are flooding today. It is the people who are built in wetlands that are flooding. I have been to Chad, and from my experience in Chad, I can tell you that those that got flooded in Chad are people who are built not in wetlands but in the heart of the water itself.
Wow.
And this is how behaving as people. We have begun thinking that life is just about us being comfortable. We no longer respect anything that add up to the ecosystem. The water bodies, the plants, the trees, all these guys are part of the ecosystem. And the funny thing is this: if you take humans out of the equation, life will still go on. But we as humans can never make it even 30 minutes without the tree or without the environment itself. So for me, I think fundamentally the only thing that keeps echoing in my mind after Monday, exactly a week today, is the fact that we have become too much reactors instead of being proactive.
Thank you, Ohineba. That was a good response. I want to ask you, it's exactly a week today you just mentioned. Do you believe or do you agree with some people who are saying that it should be declared a state of emergency where a more retrospective view is given to this flood cycle, and where there are buildings in wet areas, they should be collapsed, demolition should be going on. There should be more of like an investigative activity on the grounds to see how we could mitigate fully this ordeal. Do you agree with that we should enter that zone?
Well, I'm struggling to hear some of the things, but if I heard you right, whether we should declare state of emergency on flooding and sanitation.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
I think looking at the history from when the first flood ever happened up to now, I think it's long overdue. We should be able to declare, if not state of emergency necessarily, we should put more focus, more seriousness on tackling flooding. That way we can be able to go back to the table. There are some buildings that we have no other option than to demolish. Like I'm saying, I've seen people build in the water itself, the heart of the water itself. Yesterday I was at Weja, and just behind the Weja bus stop used to be a stream that has eventually been turned into a drain. Yesterday I was there, and now it's not like they are trying to clean the water. They eventually filled the whole street, and building or something is likely to happen over there. So this is how we are living. We are blocking all other water accesses. And when the flood comes, when the rain falls, the supposed buffer that is supposed to receive the water before it recedes into the sea, we have blocked it. And because 70% of this whole planet is owned by water, water will always find its way to come back to its natural habitat. And that is what we are referring to as flooding. So if we are able to deal with that disease of a mindset where we think that it is only us and our comfort is all that matters and nothing else, then most definitely we are going to deal with the flood. And declaring a state of emergency will also help us to get back to the table. So let's start from now. Demolish everything that needs to be demolished. And on top of that, let's reinvest into engineering. I believe we can have about 25 or 30 meters deep, 30 feet deep drain, and then narrow it in a way that getting to the surface of the road becomes a bit narrow and smallish. But beneath the surface of the earth is a big drain that can absorb volume of water that we see. Because if we don't do anything now, I'm sorry, but we'll be 100 years old, a century after, and we'll still be talking about flooding in Accra. Because this has existed as far back as I have seen online, from somewhere 1960 or 1962 thereabouts.
Interesting.
We're still talking about it. So clearly, we need to get to the bottom of the issue, at least once and for all.
Sure. And the president has declared that January next year, 2027, will have a ban on plastics. You also an advocate on the I would say, use of plastics, how it actually creates a lot of problem when it comes to floods. Are you siding with the point of view that it's a war on plastics that could help us liberate ourselves from flood, or it's an engineering issue that ought to be intensified to create a way for water to be drained away into the sea? Is it the use of plastics that's the issue, or the engineering scope should be widened so we can accommodate plastics, or perhaps how we manage plastics in this country? What do you think it is?
Okay, I think it has to do with both. Plastic too, let's draw the line. We are talking about single-use plastics. You know, waste in itself is not the problem. It's what we do with the waste. Recycling the whole economy on it. All these plastics that are choking our gutters, if we put in systems that can recollect them, where producers of these bottled waters are now putting in return for, let's say, water package, where if I have 20 packs of bottled water, I return all 20 bottled waters after consumption, and maybe I get 5 new packs back. People will encourage people to return the return. And when it is finally can then go into recycling, because recycling can employ more than 25% of this population, from those who are collecting from dumping sites, from those who are washing them clean, to those who are shredding them, to recycling them into pavement blocks and all of that. It's a whole economy on its own. So I think as a nation, we need to revisit our sanitation and waste management policies, where we can now have a system where every Monday we send about 20 to 30 waste trucks to the community. And on Mondays, it's a policy. Everybody knows that the truck that comes to the community on Monday collects only plastics. Then maybe on Tuesday, we are talking about organic waste. Maybe on Wednesday, talking about material waste. Then we can directly send these raw materials into our factories, recycle them into something amazing. Pavement blocks can be made out of plastics. Slabs can be made out of plastics. And the good thing, if you have pavement blocks being made with plastics, even when it goes bad, you just have to collect them, send them back to the lab, apply the necessary chemicals, and you get another strong material back to recycle. So I think we should not, and also yes, like I'm saying, it's just the single-use plastic, those that are not recyclable. Another one that we need to ban with immediate effect is that black polythene bag. You buy just a pure water and they give you 2. That is too light, it must tear. So let's double it for you. And it's because it's too cheap, people just give it to people anyhow. So if we can increase the price so that one takeaway rubber is now costing 50 Ghana, I'm pretty sure it's a way of fighting back the electric. And also, if possible, let's just do away with those kind of single-use plastics. If you wonder who is a baby in terms of Ghana, Rwanda is a baby because as far back as 1996, Rwanda was fighting genocide. And if you want the cleaner city and all the things are working for them, they're not us. We have no excuse or whatsoever. Because for all I know, Ghana is the #1 gold producing country in Africa. And we are #6 in the world. So clearly this cannot be our destiny, this cannot be our stop. And we need to put it now. And also bear in mind that whether we learn life is happening.
I think we may have some technical glitches over there, but Oheneba was making some very, very good points over there,
absolutely.
as he does always, about the issue of floods here in Ghana. I hope we can have him back so he can finish up his statements.
I was just going to ask him about what he thinks regarding what can be fixed. Maybe say 2 or 3 things that he thinks if we fix, it will make a difference about this problem. But I hope that we're able to get him back and then we can
I think he's back. Yeah, he's back. Right. Yeah, he's back.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I heard your question.
Great. Yeah, so let's get into it. What do you think? Just say 2 or 3 things that you think when we fix. What will these things do to make a difference in this situation?
Okay, I think #1, you fix the mindset. All our problems, from lecturing to bad economy to everything we are complaining about in this country, is the foundation is the mindset. So with immediate effect, we can go back to the classroom. This time we are not going to tell kids to label the stem, the leaf of a tree. But this time we are going to tell kids that the tree is the neighbor of the humans. The tree is humans. The water body is our source of life. Without water, all of us are dying. And therefore, we must now go back and explain what it means to live in an ecosystem with a couple of things. Then that way we'll go, because to the best that I know, everybody, from the politician to the driver to everybody in this country who is doing something, has been educated or was educated. So education is something that can change our story. It's unfortunate that from June 3rd, 2015 up to now, there is no single education on the machine that how exactly they can be a good citizen. And we cannot because for me, as I know, to the best of my knowledge, life is software and hardware like computer. The hardware is the human body, and the software is the mindset that runs the human body. But I said, we have not invested in giving our people the kind of software, the kind of knowledge that will give them the best of citizens. And clearly that's the difference between the Ghanaian and the American, the Ghanaian and the Togolese, the Ghanaian and even Rwanda, the Ghanaian and Namibia. For all even some of us, we think it's only Canada and America that is clean. Namibia is so clean and so perfect, but it's an African country. Same with all the other countries. So as a brother in the affairs of Africa, I think we are giving up on our geographical location, our land. So much on our land. It's about time that we need to invest in our land. Because I've always said that even if $1 is equal to 1 cent and we are living in fields, we'll still not go anywhere, because we are going to spend almost our GDP on importing and buying drugs to sustain the population. So the only thing that will make us or give us the respect we need globally, it's a clean environment. Nobody cares who is rich or who is poor. What they cares about is that when they come to Ghana, they didn't see a heap of trash on the roadside. They didn't see the heart of Accra itself being treated like some village in some remote area and all of that. So education, and the coming back of sanitation police to combat the assistant ones who also go a long way to explain the story. If we can employ fire service personnel who we know that they are even know.
Well, we seem to have lost Oheneba Kwadwo again. He was making some very great submissions with regards to what can be done to mitigate the problems. And he's mentioned 3 things. He says, number one, our mindset as a country, how everybody's mindset must be able to be, allow themselves to be adjusted such that we would know that these are the things we need to do and the things we are not supposed to do to help us. And also he's been talking about education. And I do agree with him that since June 3rd, 2015, truth be told, I've not had, I stand to be corrected, but I've not had any education go on. I mean, conversations do go on in public places, in the churches, in the taxi stations, wherever, but where is the education that tells us to do these things and not to do these things, building waterways, don't building waterways and things of that nature. And then finally, he talks about sanitation police. And for me, once we're talking about sanitation police, I'd say that then the real police or the military must also be involved when it comes to illegal structures in waterways, because Oheneba has also just mentioned how we have structures in waterways and which are a major contribution to the problems. So Oheneba, if you're back, let me do this final last 2 questions, and then we can call it a day with you. So you've been doing this work for years at your own cost and effort. I mean, what response, or on the other hand, lack of response, have you received from authorities? And what has changed, especially after this last disaster?
Well, I think nothing has changed. It's still the same old story. People have said on countless times that this population is young. Over 60% of this population are young people. And we are talking about unemployment as well. If a graduate from Legon can go to Canada or US and clean drains and clean public toilets and all of that, then we can definitely put the same Ghanaian here to fix our country. And therefore, all the problems in terms of sanitation, in terms of cleaning, and even policing sanitation, we can employ young people. Imagine graduates from Legon being given uniforms to police sanitation, not only being on the street, but the community itself, as a way of bringing back the community tankers or the tankers we used to have in the past. Most definitely, for the same reason we see police and we want to hide the bad stuff that we do. Their presence or the visibility of these guys as sanitation police will also go a long way to prevent and give us results in terms of sanitation and all the other things that is surrounding us. And if leaders will listen to us, I guess the better for all of us as a country. Because the same people who are the problem and causing the mess can be the solution to revive and bring our sanity back to where it is. Today, even they're trying to caution somebody not to litter. Nobody who, what mandate or what power do you have? So clearly, even if you are not strong enough to fight back, you end up beating you.
Yeah.
Just so you are telling them what needs to be done. And it saddens my heart to also tell you that the Public Health Act, Act 851 Section 56, it says that prohibits any act that causes insanitary conditions such as dumping or littering public places. And it says that once you are caught in the act, you can be fined or you can be imprisoned, depending on the severity of the offense. This act was revised in 2016 and it's sitting in a book. So it is pointed to have a law sitting in a book if we cannot enforce it and change the historic. And the foundation of having the law in itself has been defeated. So I think this should be, a call back to the classroom where we need to enforce and look at all the laws that we have that has to do with sanitation. Because if Nanakuru and East Legon and estates are flooding today, that means that if nothing happens, maybe we'll come back in 2029 or 2030 and Flagstaff House will be under.
That's a true one. I completely agree with you. So based on this submission, Oheneba, if you could sit across the president, John Dramani Mahama, today and make one demand on behalf of the communities most affected by these floods, what would it be?
Well, number one, I'll say that, Your Excellency, good morning, Your Excellency. Kindly let's change our story by simply using the community members itself to deal with their sanitation. And I'll propose 25 by community or even 50 by constituency. If we have 50 active volunteers or sanitation guys in every constituency, they have the equipment, they have the tools, they have the money or the food to eat. And these guys are policing their community, cleaning choke drains, and then fixing broken bricks and all of that. I believe that 50 in every community, just as we have been doing as bar stopboards. Imagine we are in charge of, let's say, Ablekuma constituency. I can tell you wholeheartedly that whatever it is, all the whole country can flood. But if Ablekuma constituency is flooded, it will flood, but it's not to the point where nobody can go through or nobody can come. Because acting with these 50 guys, we're also going to report to you the leveraging on social media to tell you houses that are being built in waterways, water bodies that are being filled or are being trying to, like they are building, putting waste into it just so they can start putting up buildings. We can report all of these things to the authorities even before it becomes a problem. And it's in a way will create employment for young people and also give Your Excellency, the fame to say that he as president was able to deal with sanitation and if not for anything at all, say that Accra is clean and he will be known as the president that made that happen. We are also end up by saying that, Your Excellency, the youth are many, they are in their thousands, they are in their millions. So let's put them in position of power as a way of involving them in nation building. Because for me, nation building and sustainability is.
Well, again, we have lost the feed from Oheneba Kojosafo. Oheneba, are you still on the line?
Yes, I'm here. Somebody called into my phone.
Oh, right. No problem. So just wrap it up and then we can finish with the interview.
Okay, so I think my conclusion will be that if Rwanda can do it after 1996 genocide fight, then we can do it from 1950 after independence basically.
Yeah.
Never going to make it whatsoever. Let's leverage on our peace and prove that peace is not just about us human beings living in peace. It's also about how we treat our environment. Those armless, they are without weapons. The environment has no gun fighting us back. The trees are not fighting us back. They don't have any arms. But here we are fighting them back. So let's prove that peace is not just about human and human relationship. Peace is also about human and the ecosystem, human and the what, human and the trees. That is where, or the point where we can really boast as a peaceful nation. Until then, we are fighting our needs, our water bodies. And for me, that is not peace enough.
Thank you very much, Oheneba Kojo Safo. That is the founder of the Bus Stop Boys, a Ghanaian youth-led activist group that has spent years on the ground in across communities, cleaning drains, removing refuse, and advocating for lasting solutions to the city's chronic flooding problems. Thank you very much. And before we go to the next story, we have a few comments on this story. And the first one is coming from Nanama from Adenta. She says that this year's AU theme also focused on sanitation management, and I joined the AAU's AAHF. A lot was said. It's about time we prioritize our sanitation management systems. We hope for the best. This is a long one, and it says, if annual flooding continues to claim lives and destroy property, then Ghana should seriously consider a targeted state of emergency in flood-prone areas. But more importantly, we need year-round action, not just emergency declarations after disasters. Prevention must become our national priority. We often say you can't go outside Ghana and behave like this, and that's true. But have we stopped to ask why people behave differently elsewhere? It's because the systems work, the laws are enforced. There are consequences for littering and poor sanitation. In Ghana, we must all take responsibility, but we also need policies that are consistently implemented. Good policies mean little without enforcement. If we truly want to solve flooding and plastic pollution, we need both responsible citizens and leadership that makes the rule works. And this is a comment from Ifya Frimpong Manso. And that is how we'll end the first story regarding the floods that happened a week ago in this country. Doc, your final comments on this before we move to the next story.
You know, I would say that, you know, this flood experience feels different if you are not a victim.
Yeah.
If you're a victim, it's a different. It doesn't feel like a week. It feels like it's just yesterday.
Yeah.
But for us who only learned of it because we had to watch on social media the report that had come as what we saw. There was something we didn't see. We feel differently, and I think that today may not be you, but tomorrow it can be you. The first time we saw floods occurring in some very, I would say, well-endowed communities, the East Lagos, Airport residential area, even right in front of the Jubilee House was flooded. Yeah. So I think now nobody is immune to this disaster. It's gradually gaining momentum.
Yeah.
And if we don't see this as something of national concern to the highest order, I think that we'll have ourselves to blame in the future, and posterity will judge us. That's if we were the ones in charge and we could do anything about it, what did we do and how far did we go to eradicate this very disturbing disaster? So we stand to see what government and other agencies will do about this matter, and see.
Well, we hope for the best, and our hearts goes out to every family or persons that have been affected by the flood, because after a week we are still feeling the effect. And in our next story, still in Ghana, former Education Minister Dr. Yaw Osei Educhum has sparked debate by declaring that some university programs in Ghana fail to prepare graduates for the job market. Speaking on Connected Minds podcast, Dr. Educhum accused universities of offering what he called degrees to nowhere, programs designed to fill enrollment spaces and collect fees rather than meet national development needs. He specifically called out development studies as the University for Development Studies and the BA in Education non-teaching at the University of Ghana, arguing that graduates of both programs complete their studies and national service only to find that no employer is looking for them. Dr. Educhum called on the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission to align university programs with national labor needs, pointing to India's IT sector as a model of what deliberate needs-driven education policy can achieve. Doc, I saw this thing trend on social media.
Yeah.
And people somehow seem to support Mr. Duchum's argument.
Yeah, I mean, this morning I was listening to, I think, another morning show when they also had a different view about what he said. I heard was it the Vice Chancellor for UDS or I think the PRO, but there was this statement made by someone from UDS trying to rebut what he had said in a different manner, that there was some significance to what they say about or what they offer in development studies. The problem is not about the program development studies. It is about what happens after development studies.
Yeah.
What happens to a graduate with a degree in development studies in a country called Ghana? That is the case study. And this is not about sentiment. This is not about trying to demean or deface or underestimate or throw a shade on a program the university runs. We are talking about how we can actually get graduates employable.
Yeah.
And there was a very avid article that somebody wrote. I forgot the name of the young man. And he was saying that we have over time painted or built this narrative that education must always drive employability. Is that the case? Because if we all ignore, if we all support that mindset, over time, the statesmanship of every Ghanaian wouldn't be there. The social driven Ghanaian would be taken away because everybody is thinking about what they can gain. And we wouldn't have people who will be patriotic. So must all our programs be employability driven? But I agree with him to understand that what is the essence of education if it has no benefit in creating a living for you as a person? Nobody is educated to go out there and become a bane to society, unless perhaps you choose to become. Many people are trained in schools. They go out there. I mean, I've been trained to be a hacker, and I can either choose to be an ethical hacker or be the vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's a choice. But no classroom or no lecture hall or no curricula in this country called Ghana would give you or will feed you anything negative that would turn you against your country.
Yeah.
So I agree with what he has written that yes, not all education is to make you employable. But at the time we're in, how do you expect the people of Ghana or the young people of Ghana to make a living, to earn a living, to contribute to national development through tax payment if there isn't any job for you to do after a program in the university? So as much as he is concerned about the soul or some spirit within our education that's supposed to spark some sort of social awareness and concern, that could also be embedded in our programs. So you can actually drop a component of social awareness, social care, patriotism in it, whilst you also put in elements that makes you employable. So the program that Dr. Duchum actually highlighted, development studies, which sector of the economy is looking for development studies graduates? How many of them have been absorbed? Into what sectors? The public sector, which is choked.
Yeah.
The public sector that has so many people who are beyond the age of 60 and are still there.
Yeah.
The public sector that has people who are over 60 and are bringing their own families, nepotistically driven.
People who are actually not even qualified for some positions.
And employment is solely by government intervention. Is this the space you want these graduates to go? Let us call the names out, put the result out there, and do a tracer studies from UDS. How many graduates have completed from since when? Development studies. And what has been the employment traction pattern? Let's be serious. See, sometimes in this country, when we make statements, people are quick to rebut. You know why? Because sometimes people just are sentiment driven and not data driven. It's the data that brings us all to cautiousness. But because of sentiment, somebody will attack with edition because of political pact. So I'm not in your party, so whatever you say means nothing to me. But the thing is, whether he was former Minister of Education or what, if he sees that, or if he assesses that, I think that some programs and universities are not really helping give our students jobs, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
So I'm looking at the issue in a certain sense, and let me put it in this way. I don't know if there is a documented something that tells us the shortage of engineers, nurses, and medical professionals, or whatever disciplines currently. If we have such a database, the question I would be asking now is, why are universities continuing to expand programs in areas with no clear employment pathway instead of scaling up high demand disciplines? Because we are talking now about people going to school, pursuing courses, and then when they have graduated, these courses do not make them employable. So does the country have a database that shows that we have a shortage of professionals in this discipline or in that discipline? If we do, what are we doing with such data? If we don't have such data, why don't we have it, and what are we waiting for? That's how I'm looking at it, because I'm looking at it in the perspective of where, for example, when it comes to nurses in this country, we have an overage. The facilities available are unable to absorb them. This country has told us that we are about to export nurses into the Caribbean. Okay, so
Grenada.
Yes. So why are we producing more nurses if we cannot absorb them into our systems? This pathway that we are about to begin, send them to Grenada and wherever, if that is sustainable, that's okay, because these are health professionals who everybody else would need, not just Ghanaians. So with regards to other disciplines, do we have this kind of a database that will show that maybe for development studies graduates, we need them here, we need them there, and this is what we have to do? That's how I'm looking at the situation, because we have it for the nurses, we have it for the doctors. Do we have it for these people?
You know, the question is, at least now we have seen, it's like an expose, right?
Yeah.
And this expose is public knowledge, but nobody has had the confidence to say it.
Yeah.
Not someone like him, who is a former education minister. And people were just trying to attack his credibility, that your background is in education, medication policy, education. You didn't do anything in teaching. So do you have the gravitas to make a comment on this? Yeah. You see, that's a problem in this country. We always try to attack people. We'll find a way to attack you. And all these are sentiment driven. If we look at the issues as it is, yes, he's right. I mean, Phil, let's be real. Realistically, if you start a program in the University of Ghana and you are doing something on the humanities, you see, all of those programs have a particular area they go to.
Yeah.
And let's try and pick it from the beginning. In the beginning, when the colonial masters were here, their idea was to create people to occupy administrative roles.
True.
So social science, humanities, and theater arts, so they can entertain them as well. Yes. And that was the basis. Over time, programs like marketing, branding, communications became programs that came as a result of the private sector boom in Ghana. And that happened somewhere in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Where the government, the Kufuor government that came in, saw that we could actually capitalize Ghana and make private sector more open.
Yeah.
Because it was heavily dense with public sector companies.
True.
Today, if you weigh the two, public sector, private sector, which ones are creating more employment? Let's do that analysis.
Yeah,
let's go out there and get the data. And if I know the Statistical Service may have done that survey about how many, and you see, private sector has outmatched public sector. Why? Because Ghana opened its windows locally and internationally. So we have so many foreign direct investments that have come. So in the areas of hospitality management, telecommunication, recreation, food, like so many sectors, we've seen so much investment. So today, we have so many Ghanaians or young people who are getting jobs more within the private spaces than the public spaces.
Yeah.
We are not saying that the public space have not done so much. We understand that it is heavily political when it comes to public sector. We know.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
So we nobody wants to rely on public sector. We want to start finding ways and means to strengthen public sector. So entrepreneurship is key.
Yeah.
It has come to also proliferate the job creation space. What we're looking for is funding to also augment such creations. But what the minister is saying is keen, and we should take it seriously as a country. Some programs ought to be diversified in one way or the other, so that we can give our graduates a soft landing into employment. Because if you finish environment studies and you cannot get a job, I mean, some people like Oheneba, he may have been a victim of this,
possibly,
but he was able to create something very innovative that is helping him. How many graduates like himself? Yeah. How many graduates of like himself can turn things around the way he did? The qualities may not be the same. There are some things that you can't really nurture. The resilience, the perseverance. Some people are naturally endowed with these, I would say, values and traits. Some too don't. They are only going to be following. Some will be leading. So we need to find a way to, from source, help people be well-grounded, so they can also get some jobs to do.
Well, so in closing this argument, so the question is, are Ghana's universities producing graduates the economy cannot absorb? And if so, who bears the responsibility? Is it the universities offering the programs? Is it the regulators who approve them? Or a government yet to build an economy large enough to put its educated youth to work? Stay tuned. We're still on the Hello Africa Morning Show. We'll be back with Lifestyle.
Hello Africa, keep watching AAU TV.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa. Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa. Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa. Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
back from the break, and this is still the Hello Africa Morning Show. My name is Jemima Deladem Duchi, and you are welcome to the Lifestyle segment. And today we are having an important conversation about career readiness. But then again, as many students prepare to leave campus and enter the job market, there's one major challenge that continues to remain: being truly ready for the world of work. The Career Ready initiative, in collaboration with Level Up Consult and the Ghana Communication Technology University, seeks to bridge this gap by equipping students and young professionals with essential career skills, including CV writing, interview preparation, LinkedIn optimization, soft skills development, and real work experience. So today we are joined by representatives from the Ghana Communications Technology University, and then I'll allow them to introduce themselves. I'll start with you.
All right. So my name is Christabel Tete, the SRC Vice President of GCTU.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
My name is Sandra Zabakiano. I'm the SRC General Secretary for GCTU.
Okay. And the gentleman.
Well, I'm not from Ghana. My name is Bernard Kwam, and I represent LUP Consult.
Okay, you're all welcome. So before we go into the conversation about the Career Readiness Program, let me take your perspective how you would each define or say career readiness is today when we look at the job market. I'll start with the SLC Vice President.
All right. So from my perspective, career readiness is not just about earning a degree, right? When you go to the job market and then the workplace, there are a lot of applicants, and there are certain things that you have to stand out. So with career readiness, you should be able to have you should prepare to have the knowledge, the practical skills, and then the kind of work ethics an employer needs.
Mm-hmm. So okay, I'll come to you too, Christopher. Sorry, Sandra.
Okay, so I would also say career readiness is being opportunity ready.
Okay.
Yes, not just earning the certificate, because in today's world, employers are looking at people they can trust when it comes to critical thinking, problem solving, working with people. Yeah, so I would say that your certificate would take you out there, but then it's your skill and your attitude that would show who you really are. Yes, and then put you out there. Yeah.
Okay. How about you from your perspective? Since you are not a student.
Yeah, I think you're already ready for the market. So yeah, right. So let's look at the practicality of it. Imagine you want to set up a restaurant. And a restaurant is a place, eatery, and all of that. I think for you to be able to attract the right kind of people, it has to do with the menu that you put on your table.
Yeah.
Because if the menu really gets into the people are excited about your menu, then you attract a lot of them.
Okay.
It's almost like the student. So the student now is almost like the entrepreneur. So what you have is what's going to attract you or get you attractive to the employer. So career readiness is just trying to hit the right buttons that appeals to people who need your services, and they get you in. So that's really interesting, but that's where the huge problem and challenge is. So basically,
Okay, but then still on you. Now let's talk about the career program. Behind every program, we know there is an inspiration. There is there's something you saw that initiated whatever idea that you had to put this together. So what inspired Level Up Consult to collaborate with GCTU SRC to form the Campus to Career program?
Okay, so let me first of all extend greetings to all of my people who are watching And also thank you for the opportunity and everyone. So the career readiness program basically is something that we want to do all over the country.
Okay.
And the focus is to help 1 million Ghanaian young people to become self-reliant, or if not self-employed, talking about entrepreneurship. So we believe that the campus project is something that offers us the opportunity to get in touch with the students, help them to understand what this means. And I believe the GCTU SRC has done incredible work. And seeing the great work that they've done, we thought it was a good opportunity to partner with them in order to extend whatever we believe is a great idea for the students, especially those who are going into the real world of work. So this is the whole thing. I mean, every year, we see that there is an increasing number of graduates. It keeps increasing.
Yes.
And there's going to be a state of gaps, unemployment, and this kind of. So if we don't do something now, we think it's going to really affect us. Instead of we having a lot of brain drain, where we see a lot of the young people migrating out of the country for greener pastures, what happens to our nation? So I think it's a very important platform that we get our people to come to terms with, so they can be able to use their local indigenous system to also create wealth for themselves. So that's what I think.
That's a great initiative, I must say. Because looking at the number of students you're looking at, getting on board on such an initiative, and the fact that we're also doing this to curb a lot of students leaving their home country, to other countries for greener pastures. Now, let me come to you, Sandra. Let's talk a bit more about the From Campus to Career program and what will students experience on the day. Let's talk about largely what the program is about, and then what kind of experience the program is seeking to give the students.
Okay, so I would say that this program was birthed through students' requests, where conversations were had, and their interest is more on what is there after school, what am I supposed to have going out there. Yes, because your certificate alone would not push you out there so much, but then the skill you have, the soft skill, the workplace skill, the all these little skills, people see it as little, but it's actually big. Yes, so this is what gave us the initiative to put this out there. So they would come and then learn CV writing, the interview skills, because most of them even ask, so when I go and sit there, what am I going to say? What if they ask me and I feel scared? How am I supposed to react? Yes, so all of these things were taken into consideration, and then we decided to come up with it, looking at bringing in industry experts as well, because they would be able to push this for us, and then it would be a success.
Okay. Since the program is, coming up at the weekend on Friday, what are some of the experiences that students are going to get? What should students be looking forward to experiencing from the program?
Okay, so they should look at it from not just coming to get an information, but then also a platform for them to be able to take decisions. Yes, that would be able to carry them after school. Yes, so they would have the space to network, to ask questions, because there would also be a panel discussion. So yes, they would have all of this experience, so that when they go back, they would remember that, no, I am better than tomorrow. That would tell that, yes, I have gotten something from
That's great. Let me come to you, Ambassador Kwam. So this program, just like she had mentioned, focuses on some particular interests, if I should put, like the CV writing, LinkedIn optimization, interview preparation, and career readiness. Why these specific skills, though?
Yeah, they are very central.
Because even, sorry to cut you, there's been conversations even about entrepreneurship, and then, all these things. But then you decided to focus on, soft skills development, CV writing, and then, all these things. Why these particular selection?
Right, so these amongst many others.
Okay.
We do, but most importantly, we believe strongly that the job market or the job place is hinged on one major thing, which is telling your best story.
Yes.
If you don't know how to put together the pieces to make a meaning in the minds of people that can employ you, you're still going to have a struggle. Number two, we've really not expanded the idea of personal branding. You see, it is said that, how do you call it? A fool, when he keeps quiet for some time, is mistaken for what? A wise person. There's a way you carry yourself about. There's a way you present yourself out there.
Okay.
And that comes with the LinkedIn optimization. Now, a lot of young people don't even, they are all waiting to finish school before they get to work. That is a non-starter.
That's
So
true.
you should be able to build what we call your social media presence, so that it's visible and it is succinct, so that people just know you for who you are. You see, a lot of these bloggers, social media activists, all of them are able to buy into the minds of the populace, and so they establish themselves as a product in the minds of people as a value position. So anytime there's conversation, oh, this guy, oh, that guy, you see. But here we are, no one knows you.
Yes.
We have no idea of what you can do. So soft skill development is one of the things that can help you to have your way work through people.
Yes.
Now, you're talking about entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, you don't have good soft skills, you're going to fail, because it's human beings are going to work with. So I believe strongly that we start with CV writing, we start with, even there's what we call the personal profiling.
Okay.
That one is also there.
Okay.
And I think
that's great. Honestly, I look forward to that, because I share in that same sentiment of you talking about the fact that mostly students would want to finish school because before they look for a job, and some of these platforms, just like you had mentioned, LinkedIn is actually there to be ahead of you whilst you are, about to complete your schooling or whatever. Yes. So now let's move on. I'll come to you. So one of the highlights for the program is the panel discussion on navigating the transition from campus to career. And then I would like us to talk about the fact that what are some of the real challenges and realities students should be prepared for that nobody actually tell them. Yeah, I'll start with you.
So I'll start with what we learn in the classroom. Most of the time, what you learn in the classroom is different from what you meet at the workplace. There are things you learn in class, and then when you get to the workplace, everything looks brand new. And most students are actually not prepared for that. Some use certain technologies in class, they get to the workplace, and then it's a whole new technology that's being used. Mind you, the world is evolving, so there are new technologies coming up. And some students find it hard to adapt to such situations, because most of them think that after school, I'm done with learning. There's nothing else to learn anymore. And then I also like to talk about the fact that most of them think that the moment you are out of school, you get a job immediately. So most of them are very relaxed, and they don't tend to make preparations towards getting a job. Some people have the notion that if you work very well at where you do your national service, the possibility of being retained is high. But it might not necessarily be like that. They might not have space for you. So you should also be able to have the mindset that I might not necessarily be there, but I should be able to have a portfolio that can push me to other places.
That's great. I love that. So let me come to you, Ambassador. So for students wondering whether they should attend this program or not, what makes it different from many career seminars that we've been having all the time?
And I'd like to quickly also add to what you just said by saying that yes, we are in an age of information
everywhere.
Yeah, but the problem is the right information. The right information can just change your destiny, your life. That's it. And that's where we come in. We are not there to go give lectures. I mean, students have enough.
We are tired of listening to the talking all the time.
Maybe you zoom into the lecturing mode, it's like they're waiting an exam, you know. So they don't want it. But we have, and I always use my life as an example, and I really thank God. I owe everything to God. That's what I need to say. But I also wanted to say that there is a kind of attitude and mentality you need to have. And that is what we bring to the fore. So this particular program, we are very intentional in trying to like hold the hands of the students and lift them up. But you know, not everyone will love to be lifted up. Those who want to be lifted up, we do same.
How about those who don't want to?
Those who do not want to,
you leave them
that's
there.
very So actually, we are very excited about the program, just as they are excited. And we hope to, give what we have so that it's going to benefit a lot of people. So basically.
Okay. I'm also having the information that the program is also going more practical, where you have the boot camps, the internship, and the volunteering opportunities. How do these hands-on experience, if I should ask, improve the graduates' employability in ways that classroom learning could not?
Yeah. So I was very excited when the former educational minister came up and he brought that disruptive statement, which I think is really good. But because the university people has been put together in such a way to make money, they in turn try to fight it in a way.
Yeah,
but, that is not the reality. The reality really is whatever is happening within the four walls of the classroom is supposed to open up our mind. It's not wrong. We are doing an incredible way. It opens up your mind to be able to pick up. Let me even say this. You see, first degree is not something you should be excited about.
Oh.
Actually. Now, I'm not trying to cast shade on the educational system in senior high school, but if the senior high school is robust, even after senior high school, you shouldn't even take off college.
Okay.
If you go to the United States, a high school graduate is able to do a lot. So what we are trying to really focus on is certain things like internship, volunteering, certain things like this job boot camp, job fairs, and those things are very central in helping the graduate or the student to have a wider perspective of what it is that they are entering into. I've been asking students, and I'm just finishing with this, that the first question that you need to ask yourself is, do you want to work for yourself or you want to work for someone? That is the first and most important thing that every student graduate who wishes to work must ask. Because if you decide that I like to really work for myself, there's a mindset that goes with it. If you want to work for someone, there's a mindset. There's no problem with working for someone, but that is the starting point. And I think volunteering, internships, and all those kind of campaigns can really open you up to something beyond that people don't really know. I am a product of many of them. So,
Anyways, that's great. So I'll come to you. Organizing this program, I'm sure that there's been a lot of work that has gone on. What has the process been like? Behind the scenes, and what has it taken from you or your team to bring this whole program to life?
Okay, so this has taken us a lot, coming up with a vision, being persistent, getting collaborations. Yes, the work has not really been that easy, because from every meetings we schedule, from so far the partnerships we have, yes, it wasn't just one day thing. We had to do some follow-ups, work on some of our people, those who we want to take out there to also speak to others. So this has not really been easy at all. Getting response, even when you send your letters out there, like yes, getting the acceptance and all that. Yes, so this has really taken so much from us. Yeah, but then we are looking at it from the student perspective that though this has all gone backstage, but then we are looking at the best that students would rather gain from what we are giving them. Yeah.
Okay, I'll come to you, Madam Vice President. So I know that, I mean, most often in the universities, student leaders often focus on, campus welfare and, activities of that. What made the SRC of GCTU decide that career development deserves a platform, at the top and should be on the agenda?
All right. So one thing I do know and believe in is that as a leader, you shouldn't just look at what's happening now, but you should also look towards the future. And we don't want a case where we complete and then we have students that don't really know how to handle the job market. So this was looking at the long term, when students leave school, they have something to hold for. So this initiative was brought up in the sense that students don't leave school without any form of knowledge concerning the job market. They don't leave school without preparing their CVs properly. They don't leave school without preparing their mindset on how the job market is going to be like. Most of the time, focusing on the activities and programs and all that, that has to do with just students on campus. And we don't want to just look at students on campus, but students outside. So that next time when GCT is mentioned, you could boast that you have students that are actually doing very well in the job market.
That's great. That's a great mind there. So I'll come to you, Ambassador. What mindset should students adopt today if they want to remain competitive in this ever-changing job market?
Right. So Alvin Toffler. It looks like he lived some time, but whatever he said is really working to us. First and foremost, they need to have a teachable spirit. You see, it's like the BEC graduate who just finished school and he thinks he's gotten that far. But those of us who are done with university look at us like you're still a kid. Why? Because the truth of the matter is the job market keeps evolving, keeps changing. So if you are not somebody who can adapt, adopt, and become adept, it becomes very difficult for you to stay afloat. So that's one of the key things, teachable spirit. And it is an attitude of the mind, willing to learn, willing to unlearn, and relearn. So we call it continuous development. That's one of the spirit. And number two is the entrepreneurial mindset. When you're working with somebody, you don't work as if you are working for them, but you are working with them. Immediately, that kind of conjunction for is put there, you begin to feel like it's not yours. So I can do anyhow. That wouldn't help you. But if you look like I'm working with them, that means a part of it depends on me. And when that begins to come up, the employer, oh, okay, this guy is really cool. Let me, do something. So entrepreneurial mindset is really cool. Taking initiative, being creative, being forthcoming. Then the last one, which I'd like to talk about, is problem solving. Jemima, honestly, every sound employer is looking for results. I really don't care whether you came through the lion's den or the crocodile, whatever. If at the end of the day I'm not seeing results, it's a waste. This is where a lot of Ghanaians get emotional. They go like, no, because you're not creating value. Because if value is not on the table, I'm not going to take you seriously.
That's true.
So let's look at these three. I'll leave it there. So teachability, entrepreneurial mindset, then also coming to the point of we being able to deal with these kind of nuances of what it means to be result oriented.
All right, so we're coming almost to the end of the discussion, but finally, I think all of you, if you could leave every student with just one piece of career advice, what would that be?
So what I would really say is, hey, it is everything is possible. Do not go out there and buy what the media or what the people are telling you that Ghana is hard, Ghana is difficult, things are not moving. Well, it could be the reality for you, but trust me, you need to be like water, who is able to penetrate through all the, just make it. It's possible. You can make it, and you can make it here in Ghana big time. All you need is those kind of mindset. See you there.
All right, so I'll come with you. Okay, so I would also want to say that invest in yourself, right? Invest in yourself, because your greatest competitive advantage isn't your certificate or your degree, yes, but then it's what you learn, what you invest. Yes, so let's not take this opportunity lightly. Get yourself prepared, but then don't be there and then say that I'm waiting for the opportunity to come. No, it will pass by you. So yeah, that's the little advice I would want to give.
So all I would want to say is you should be willing to adapt and ready to learn. Don't just stay stagnant. Be ready to go ahead and try new things, learn new things. Don't be scared, because when you want to play it safe, you really won't get anywhere. So the best you could do is what? Learn and then adapt.
Okay, so thank you all very much. It's been an amazing conversation. So be ready to learn and relearn. We look forward to the program. And this has been the lifestyle segment on the Hello Africa Morning Show. My name is Jemima Dalade. Up next is Game on Africa. Stay tuned.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aauLMS@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Morning show coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana, and this is the Game on Africa segment, and here we're talking sports. To do this is from my immediate left, Felix, Dr. Ajman is still with us, and then Emmanuel Adansi to my far left. Gentlemen, you're welcome to Game on Africa.
Thank you.
And I know that you are boiling. You can't wait for the discussions to begin, but let's kick it off because of time. Okay, so, and it's all criticism, I know, especially because of the Black Stars. Now, former Ghana midfielder Kevin Prince Boateng has criticized the Black Stars following their 1-0 round of 32 defeat to Colombia at the ongoing FIFA 2026 World Cup, saying the team lacked the spirit needed to compete at the highest level. Now, Boateng made the candid assessment during a panel discussion following Ghana's elimination from the global showpiece. Now, this is just Kevin Prince Boateng speaking here. I've read several other people's opinions online. And during the game, I did watch from Super Sports when Asamoah Gyan was doing the panditry work with them, and he was so furious. And I can tell you without a single doubt that he was so holding back not to mention names of players who didn't do their jobs on the night. Let me start with you from the fire, Emmanuel.
So
overall assessment on the game.
I think the Ghana game was something that it was very, very, very. Should I use the word bad? Because to start it off, we prepared as a team to not deliver. We did very well from Panama, moving to England, and to Croatia. Now the Panama match was prepared that this is our first match. Let's go and give our fans what they want.
Yeah.
Now to England, we looked at England as a high mountain. The coach went to his tactical team, drew a very nice defensive game, and everything was on point. Now the whole country is against Ghana. Croatia, we'll just say maybe it's one of those games that want to test and see the prowess. If we should open up our game, what is going to happen?
True.
And we found our result. So if you have two games, which is England and Croatia, you see that if I open up, this is what is going to happen. If I close up, this is what is going to happen. Why did you just go into the game and just, go according to what you feel was best? Now, let's take it back to the goalkeeping department. We all say that Benjamin Asare is supposed to be like between the posts. But Atisigi did very, very well because it was 7 shots going to him and 4 was very lethal. He did his possible best to make a save. I mean, to make all those shots go away. But the goal wasn't considered by his mistake, but it was by Caleb Irenchi. If the MCR can give me image 1. So you see that. Good. Now look at image 1 very well. We have 4 players. So 2 going against Luis Diaz and the rest standing there. Now look at Caleb Irenchi and look at what Atisigi is doing. Atisigi is prompting Irenchi that John is free. Go on and attack him. What happens? So it's just a clear defensive breakdown causing the first goal to happen. So if people are saying Atisigi didn't do very well, I beg to differ. He did his possible best to do so. Ghana had 372 passes. What chances did we make with it?
0.
The midfield was well managed by Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey receives the ball, recycles it into an attacking counter-attack by his co-partners, Sibo. Sibo and Caleb, they behave as if they don't know what is going on. And they end up standing behind our opponent. So Thomas gets the ball, no beer running free ball. Sorry for my tree. Like everybody just
feel free.
Express yourself.
It's a language.
It's just a tactical breakdown. So I just don't know if it is from the players that didn't understand the coach tactics, or it's from the coaches who didn't interpret it well to the defenders. We all know our coach is a very great guy, did very well in Egypt, now coming to Ghana. Colombia went into the match knowing that Ghana sits deep down.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming into the game against Ghana, I have to do everything possible best to draw them out so I can get the balls into their loopholes.
Yeah.
So now, they did it very well in the first minute, slowing the paces of the game down, drawing players forward to make it possible to move it around. So they used 2 tactical prowess, which is the links, the wings, and the vertices, and it worked perfectly well.
Okay.
So Ghana needs to go in next time, understanding what the coach wants them to do and what they should also do defensively if we are playing a defensive game.
Okay. All right. Let's hold it there. So, Dr. Agyemang, tell me your comments about that game that led to the elimination of the Black Stars.
I think Ima has given us that technical view of what happened. I mean, that it was a defensive flaw.
Okay.
You found that we had focused on one side of the 18 box and left the other side fallow. You see, the greatest, I would say, the greatest player on the field who sees everything is the keeper.
Yeah.
What the goalkeeper sees is he sees everything that happens on the pitch. So what Ziggy was, he was pointing to us that he was calling someone to cover that right flank of the 18 box because there was a whole space there. And what did you see? I mean, it was unfortunate that right at the early moments of the game, the right back, Senaya left, and we brought in somebody who had never had a touch in the game. What kind of change is that? Who does that?
No, but if you ask me, it was our only choice at the time because Ali Dusedu is the replacement for the right back. Before Senaya came into he was the one who was always playing on the right side in the defensive setup before we discovered Senaya. So somehow, some way, it only makes sense to me that Alidu will be the one
I understand you. I understand you, but you see, players get rusty when they don't get playtime.
To be fair,
and
to buttress your point, Alidu has never been the best right back we have had since before Otuado was sacked. Okay, for some reason, Otuado made us believe there's no best right back in the country aside Ali Dusedu, and we have all seen the kind of football Ali Dusedu plays. It's not the best. I'm trying to hold back my words on the way I would want to describe Alidu. I mean, he was a no-show in this game.
No, I understand. Ali Dusedu plays within the Spanish league.
He's in the French league.
Yeah, the Freddie down here. And you see, I would say he has his own strength.
Yeah.
But you see, Phil, football is a game of doing. You don't just sit on a bench and get better at it. You play. You play one player throughout a number of matches. You don't change. You see, where you see weakness, you test. Why was the keeper? When we began the tournament, we were seeing a swap.
Yeah.
First half Atisigi, second half Asare.
Yeah.
It was because we want to see who does very well in terms of holding a match down. And I think that if we were to see command over the goalpost, it was Asare.
Yeah.
Asare's confidence and prowess, I mean, beats Atisigi to a point. Atisigi is very good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not good, but Asare proved much better. So if he was able to swap keepers, which is quite an unusual thing to do in such games, first half with a keeper, and then you can also test your right backs, test your front backs, be switching them at least for every cool break, bring somebody in, because you want to test and give everybody that kind of feel. But we didn't do that.
Okay. All right. So let me hear from you, Felix, so your general comments about it.
Okay. So I wouldn't necessarily blame Ali Dusedu. He hadn't started a match this World Cup. So that match sharpness was not there. So you can't put all the blame on him.
Okay.
Yes, the goal coming in was more or less his fault. But Irenchi could have done a better job defending.
Yeah.
So that was the issue. He should have marked the player. He didn't mark the player. He left him open, and then we conceded the first goal.
Okay. All right. So now that I have your general thoughts about the game, we are not laying blames on who did what and whatever. I mean, in total, we have all agreed that the team didn't come to the party on that fateful day when we needed them to. In my opinion, the kind of game we should have played towards Colombia is what we didn't do. We had played England, which was a more dangerous side in terms of attack and all around on the pitch. And we played better defensively against them. We didn't do a lot in terms of attack. But I didn't think that Colombia was that team to scare us so much that we will still continue to play a low block in a competition like this, where you know that when you lose, you are going out of the competition. For me, that's where the problem is. And my entire problem begins from the squad that was released to begin the game. First of all, I am not sure what Jordan Ayew was doing on the list. Second, Iñaki Williams, I'm not sure what he was doing in there. Same with Kwesi Sibo. I'm not sure what he was doing in there. So, and unfortunately, when Sibo was substituted, one player I never want to see close to the Black Stars, Elijah Ozu comes on. So I keep thinking, did the coach actually want to win this game? That's just what my worry is, because from the start of the game, the kind of players you fielded, first of all, doesn't give us, aside the back line, which was okay. Even with the back line, I had a problem with Lucasen, because we had seen from an earlier comment that apart from Opon Prepar, who was injured, the rest of the 25 players were in good shape. So why would Lucasen start a game when Ajete is fit? First of all, that's one of my major problems. So put Ajete in the back line, because I believe if Ajete was in there, the lapse or the loophole that we saw where what's his name? Ali Duselu couldn't cover up the ball where then John Arias has that enough space to do whatever he wants to do. I believe that thing could have been taken care of because what we have seen in the back line so far is that between Jerome and Ajeti, there's good conversations, communication, so they are able to watch each other's back and prompt who is next behind them. And that's what we were lacking at the back the moment Senaya was taken out of the game through that injury. So for me, if you ask me, point blank, the coach lost the game. The lineup from the startup was what cost us this game. Now, we are out of the competition. Going forward, one of the things that has happened now is the conversation about the influence of who makes it to the Black Stars. I'm sure you have seen the coach's comments he has made. We are still unsure if he is still the Black Stars coach currently or he has voluntarily resigned.
Yeah, his contract was only for the World Cup.
For 4 months, basically for 4 months. Okay, he was appointed just a few weeks to the World Cup. So probably he's not even done up to 2 months fully. I still say that we are unsure because the FA hasn't come to say anything yet. So I would want to take the stance that we are unsure. But going forward, based on the coach's comments, saying that the future of the Black Stars is not only going to be affected by what happens on the pitch, it begins from what happens off the field. What does that statement mean to you? Let's start with you, Mado.
I want to go back a bit to the kind of formation that we played on that day. So I believe that Jordan Ayew is not that of a bad player that you think, because he was part of the key people that helped Ghana qualify to the World Cup. When you look at his track record in, the Premier League and all those players, he's one of the players that can dance his way through the defense and humiliate the keeper effortlessly. But I wish you can give me image 2 of Igor. Now look at this build-up. We can see that Semenyo in the game did very, very well when it comes to it. He had it at his points to just give a low diving cross into the bird. You can see Iñaki Williams there. Typically,
so bad of him.
Iñaki Williams was supposed to see the alignment of the ball and what it is. You can see he's off it. Now let's come back to Jordan Ayew. I don't know if he wanted a cutback for the ball coming back, or he wanted to do what typically Mbappe or
Harry Kane would do, a tap-in.
You understand? So I think it all boils down to familiarity. There are a lot of players on the pitch that the coach can make use of. A typical example of this, Brandon Asante could have done that effortlessly and just tap the ball in. So I think they're supposed to have this kind of team chemistry, not always changing players, bringing new ones, changing players. It works, but if the players are together for a very long time, the chemistry is there, the understanding is there. The efforts you just made about the two defenders, which is Sergeant Ajete
and then Jerome Opoku.
Yes. So please, let's going forward. I think it's just togetherness. We should just be particular. There are young ones always in the Ghana Premier League that can make it effortlessly to the Black Stars and make the Black Stars great again. Let's come down to the Ghana Premier League.
Okay, so beyond Premier League, Doc, one of the things that was also circulating on social media was about the choices we had on the bench who were far better, especially in midfield. Okay, for example, there was Bonsuban and then there's Boache. These guys were better options ahead of Elisha Owusu and Kwesi Sibo. But why the coach played these guys ahead of them, nobody understands. Because look, to be fair, this conversation was not just coming from one person. People are diehard fans of the Black Stars. The entire nation was behind them. I was following this conversation largely on X. Consistently, the names that kept popping up, number one was Jordan Ayew, Kwesi Sibo, Elisha Owusu, and then Lucasen. These guys, many people thought should not even be selected in the first place. Because if you ask me, look, we have followed football. We see what good football looks like. These guys didn't give us that. Like Emmanuel said, I agree. Jordan is never a bad player. But what he plays now is not what we needed in this World Cup.
No.
Jordan is that player you bring into the game when you are leading and you need somebody to hold on to the ball, take the fouls, do the set pieces, and all of these things. I don't know what you make of the squad.
I agree with you. I think that it is true. We need to look at the squad very, very well and weigh the options. I have a different point of view to support this whole loss. There's something wrong with the Black Stars and the way we treat our coaches. So I learned yesterday. I was speaking to somebody who has been within the space for a while and says that there's this mindset or perception that we look down upon the African coaches, but we seem to respect the foreign coaches.
Yeah.
And this tournament, I was comparing this tournament to 2022 to see which ones, or how, I would say on a whole, which one was the best. In 2022, we won one match. We lost 2 matches.
Yeah.
We won against Korea, Portugal, and then Uruguay.
Yeah.
However, we got more goals. This tournament, we got 2 goals. Now, compare. We couldn't make it to round of 32 in 2022. We actually lost our group stage match.
Yeah.
But if it was this time that we had Uruguay, Portugal, and South Korea within our space, I don't think we'll make it this far.
To buttress your point,
it this far.
Because this World Cup is expanded, and then we are doing the round of 32 before 16. The round of 16. If we were doing round of 16 straight away, we will not have qualified.
So it means that if we had last year, or no, 2022, the same modalities for this time round, would have made it.
We will not have qualified, given what we just did.
No, I mean,
because the first 2 teams go through.
We lost.
Okay, and we lost
2 matches, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, we're able to make more goals within a short time. I don't know what was the ideology at that time. We were more attacking driven than defensive driven at that time.
Yes.
This coach came with the defensive ideology.
That's what he's identified for.
And you know, Phil, the thing is, we also had a deficiency at the forward. Jordan.
Okay.
As he just pointed, that Semenya would do his best. Semenyo would do his best to deliver the ball.
Yeah.
And on several occasions,
the
ball will roll.
It just goes across the post.
Symmetrically straight. And I'm like, where's Inaki Williams? Inaki Williams has been relegated to the flank.
So
he doesn't move.
You see, this is not in defense of Iñaki. What I noticed in the play is that because when Alidu Seidu came on, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. Somehow, some way, Iñaki was forced to drop down so that Caleb covers for him. But Caleb, because he's also in the middle, couldn't go further up front because originally that job is for Iñaki Williams to do. So all of these things just tells you how bad the setup was. Okay, because and that's why I keep talking about the players who were on the bench who could have done that job easily. No problem. We have already brought on Alidu Seidu and we saw that there was a deficiency. The game with Croatia, when Prince Edu was brought on, he was later taken off. What stops us from taking off Alidu Seidu if he was not doing the job he was brought to do? Okay, after all, we have 5 substitutions in the game. Then you bring in the other midfielders who were on the bench. Try them and let's see what they can do. Because if they were not good enough, they will not even have ended the qualification of Black Stars.
Also, Phil, I think my last point will be about the fact that the Black Stars will need from now on, think about the people who will be playmaking. We need playmakers.
We don't have them. The only one we have is Kudus who couldn't go with us.
Yeah, somebody who can, and the way we play, it's not good. It's like we don't know how to move a ball forward. Yes. I watched the Norwegian game with Brazil yesterday, and everybody is moving.
End to end.
Everybody is moving the ball. And I think all of them, all the African teams, everybody's moving the ball. Senegal.
Yes.
Senegal has the kind of syndrome Black Stars has. Is that they have a better side.
Yes.
That they can do better. But we are a bit deficient.
Yeah.
But a team that doesn't know how to attack, how can you succeed if you can attack? And look at what happened with Norway. Norway attacked, and they attacked with C's. Look at what our man did to the Brazilians. He stood there and said, right from here, I can do it.
And it was the celebration for me. It was so cold. It was so cool.
I mean, the Black Stars, we have to find people who can play make. We were doing that more in 2022, but 2022 we lost that kind of defensive flair. You
Yes.
have to balance.
Yeah, we need to
defense
balance
and
yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
And keep the game motion because you have to score goals.
Yeah.
You need goals.
Yeah.
You have to also defend.
Absolutely. So Felix, with the substitutions going forward, do you also want to see these 4 players we have spoken about to be taken out of the team, and who would be your replacements? Particularly Jordan, because I understand now that there's a petition going around to not make him a player of the Black Stars anymore, which to me, to be honest, is unfair.
Yeah,
of course.
That petition should not hold. He's an integral part of the team. I think that there's a part where he can play efficiently. When it is time, he has to do that. But during the time when we need the attack to be more effective, he's not one of the people who should be in there currently. I don't know what you think of that.
So with Jordan, like you initially said, he's a kind of player that you need when you are 2 goals up. 3
Exactly.
goals up.
Yeah.
He will hold the ball, draw fouls for you, and then we get set pieces from that. But he shouldn't be starting, especially in a defensive system that
you need
Carlos
counter-attackers.
has. Yes.
Yeah.
So we needed Fatahu to start because he's very pacey.
Yeah.
Then Thomas Asante plays. Then
Yes.
Semenyo.
Yeah.
That will help because we don't have a playmaker like Kudus to
Yeah.
distribute the balls to them.
Yeah.
So we could have played with so much pace on the wings, and that would have helped us.
Yeah.
Because our system is defensive. So on the break, you need fast players to move the ball, and we didn't have that, and that was so disappointing.
It was definitely disappointing. So what I would have loved to see in the absence of what Jordan should have done, because Kudus was not going to be there, I wish that when you saw what Nyama did when he came in to handle the ball. So either Nyama or Brandon Asante could have done that job for us by doing the playmaking thing. But why the coach decided not to put him in there?
Also, Karim, this whole branding issue.
Yeah.
I mean, with Panama, it was this Brandon guy.
Yeah.
Because the pace Panama brought.
Yes.
We couldn't. In fact, they actually disorganized the whole machinery. So it was Brandon that came in with UNC on the side, Semenyo, and then they were able to work things, bring pace to match up to the energy.
Yeah.
And we're going to go. Then post Panama.
We decided to put him on the bench.
What the coach said, there's a whole lot for it. We have to do some forensic look into that.
I agree.
A lot is happening behind the scenes that we don't know.
Yeah.
And you see, I don't think Carlos Queiroz, a very experienced coach, will make that mistake. And we'll see the need to bring somebody who can make a pace, and we'll keep quiet about it. Because there are a lot of influence. The interference is too much.
Yeah.
And we should say it. The
Absolutely.
so-called football people, the gatekeepers, they are destroying the future of the place.
Yeah.
They are the ones behind the scenes. It is them.
Anyway, because of time, we have to move on to the next story quickly. And then generally, let's talk about the African teams who are still in the game.
Yeah.
Morocco and Egypt. Morocco, fantastic display in their last outing, beating Canada. Look, I can't begin to tell you how much you cannot hate Morocco. The delivery was on point. Guys, look, anybody start this conversation for me. I don't know what you think.
So I think Morocco is, I don't know, they always take their time before they act. If you look in the first half, Canada came in a 4-4-2 present possessive game.
Yeah.
Morocco just laid back. Look at the rhythmic play of which Canada is moving. And after second half, they brought in their end game.
Yeah.
They realized that if Canada is moving with pressure with their 4-4-2, there's a lot of lapses that they can use just their verticals to just swim through to do it. A typical, and also they work very well on their set pieces.
Exactly.
Very, very articulate, knowing which player to be at the receiving end of the ball and to just execute it very effortlessly. That is what I like about Hakim. Hakim is that one player who always wants to lead like the attack to make it happen. If it happens, okay, if that's happening, when we come back, we'll call our systems and make everything happen. The technical team is so superb. Unai's goal, I mean, it was
those two goals.
Unai's goal was lovely, and Diaz, like the game was effort. You could feel that there is some kind of soothing sensation when you watch the players moving the ball across, as if it was already planned when they went to the the dressing room to do it. Technical team on point, coach just laid back because he knows the kind of ball he has induced into his players to give. So I mean, they just deserve their fair point. They did very well.
I like that. I think that is the essence of concentration. I think so far the whites are beginning to see the weakness of the African teams. That we lack concentration. Look at Senegal. No, the exits of Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire,
awful,
Congo, are testament of lack of concentration.
Senegal specifically.
When you were able to use your tactic to get a goal, stay on the tactic. If you have to play defensive, be defensive.
And do it well.
Yes, but don't just be disorganized all of a sudden and allow Norway to just equalize in less than 6 minutes. Like who does that?
I mean, that game was bad. It was really bad.
I was tempted to say it's scripted. And
It looked
the last
scripted.
line was like, if not for that, it will make no sense for Senegal to allow this to happen. But you see, I want to also draw this in that this tournament is heading towards a point where it is beginning to lose integrity. And I don't know if it's in a plan to discuss, but I just want to bring this in.
That's fine.
That see, through the game, we saw Senegal face some condition. No, Ghana, England, we had the same issue. We had a pure infringement that could have been a red card.
Yeah.
We covered it up. The apology came the next day. Then we
True.
moved on. It kept happening to the African teams. USA. I know it's a host nation, chief host nation, with the fierce president Donald Trump. Please don't interfere in the beautiful game. This issue of Lion Balogun.
I've seen that story as well.
Phil, let me chip in. With that issue, it's not the first time a red card has been overturned to allow a player to.
True.
play.
That's true.
It happened back in the 90s. I think Germany versus, I don't know if it's Czech Republic. A player got a red card and would have missed the final, but it was overturned to allow him to play. But subsequently, you still serve that suspension. So it's not something I would totally disagree with, because not playing in the round of 16, and Balogun has been their top goal scorer. Not playing would also affect them. So it's fair, but it's still up for debate.
I understand that. You see, we have to actually uphold the game in its right sense. The fact that somebody is your top scorer doesn't give him the chance or immune him from infringements and getting the punishment for it. Then perhaps we should bring a new rule. Transfer the punishment. Say, let it go to
instead of the
police
top scorer.
take a penalty. No, because if you are based on the fact that somebody is your goal duck, and therefore that person can't be removed, then what are you saying? It means that person has his license to play anyhow because I'm the goal bearer of the
I see where this conversation is going, but I want us to keep our attention on the African teams. Look, Felix, talk to me about Cape Verde.
Wow.
Cape Verde.
Wow.
Look, everybody says that they have not won this competition, but they have won our hearts.
Of course.
Of course. Talk to me about Cape Verde.
They've had one of the better tournaments of all the African teams. They managed to hold all the teams
The
they
big
faced
teams,
through the group stages. And they face Argentina. Everybody thinks, oh, it's gonna be an easy game for Argentina. Then all of a sudden everything changes. It's 2-1. And then their second goal was so amazing.
So
So
Lopez
amazing.
Cabral.
It made everybody tense. Even the Africans that support Argentina were so tense. And it went to extra time, and then
What
unfortunately, what happened. It was amazing.
Look,
it was amazing.
In my following of football in my adult life, it's the second time I've seen Lionel Messi frustrated.
Yes.
Very
It's
frustrated.
the second time, because he couldn't just believe that whenever they score,
It's equalized.
they equalize. They score.
It's unheard of.
It is like and in his post-match comments, like he confessed, and it was just amazing. And you know what the end point of this matter has gotten to now. I've just seen this morning on X that the Cabo Verde goalkeeper Vozinha has been signed by Inter Miami. Now he gets to play with Messi.
Wow.
Just before I got into the studio. Yes.
I mean, he deserves it.
Absolutely, he deserves it, because the kind of performance he put in, especially from the first game with Spain, at 40 years old.
Top notch.
Look, they have won our hearts.
Oh, yes.
And if FIFA does not give them the Fair Play Award, oh my goodness. Look, I don't care what any other team does going forward. Okay, but if they don't win the fair play award for this tournament, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm telling you, because what the performance they put in, okay,
It's amazing.
and don't be surprised that their squad is going to start receiving offers from bigger teams, because many of them play in lower leagues like in Cyprus.
That is the thing.
On in the very obscure leagues, but many of them still do play in Europe. But for the fact that they have put up this performance in this World Cup, look, I don't know what to say.
So that is why I want to say that if the defensive system understands what the coach wants us to do, if the technical team has done their work both off the pitch, telling the players to keep their tempo. I mean, Argentina is that one team that we know it can just dismantle Cape Verde and
in a minute.
But the players know the kind of game they're going into. Though they might think, okay, let's just go try, get a draw at least, and just come back home. But them putting in that effort, understands, I mean, it just shows them that if you are just calm, read the tempo of your opponent, see the loopholes that he misses, you just take advantage of it and just make it happen. So that's what exactly what Cabo Verde did. And talking about them coming back to the local teams, I keep saying that do you have a lot of talent in
Who are hungry? See, that's the issue.
Talent.
Yeah, these guys.
This squad
was just one of them.
This squad, our Blaster squad, I think they are all full. See, when you're squad is full. See, when you are
nothing to lose.
When you are full, you cannot run. Oh.
You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, when you are full, you cannot run. See, 2008. When did we play in South Africa?
That's 2010.
Yeah.
You could see the blaster that was saying that
passion.
here we are. The very first time you've had African players who were given a chance to go to the World Cup. That was historic. And we went with our full force, and that year we made strides.
It's our best
that was
year.
when the world said, we gave Germany a good run for their money. Gave USA good, even Czech Republic. So you see, we're on fire. Fast forward. Now you see the results. Cape Verde proves to the world that they should start putting them in their books.
Absolutely.
They've come to stay. And you see, if we felt that we can actually play Cape Verde and score them, we used to do that to them AFCON.
But lately they beat us.
Oh yeah, they'll beat us. They will beat us because
they did beat us and they will beat us again.
Today, Africa has shocked me. Congo has shocked me. Cape Verde has shocked me. And there are a whole lot more who could have done better than Ghana in this World Cup. And with the remaining two, I mean, Egypt, top notch, Morocco, top notch. But the issue is Egypt is facing Argentina. It's what children.
In following the World Cup, we saw Saudi Arabia score Argentina in the 2022 World Cup. Nothing is impossible. Cape Verde frustrated Spain frustrated Argentina. It was in extra time. Nobody thought that Cape Verde could go extra time with Argentina. So to be honest, with what I've seen in the World Cup, anything can happen.
I think anything can happen on the grounds that the hungry side can make it.
And Egypt is the hungrier side here.
If Egypt plays with a lot of seriousness, I think Zlatan Ibrahimovic says the same thing, that it tells who is more thirstier for the next level. It will show in the way you are running. It will show in the way you are going after the ball. It will show in the way you are keeping your team composed to move forward. Not like the one I know that when things are hot, that's when somebody will begin to hold the ball and give us a toss and
falling.
Come on. Look, we are serious here.
So going forward, our hope for Africa now is only Morocco and Egypt. Morocco's game is going to be tough. They might play
with France.
Very
tough. That's like Africa with Africa. Or Morocco's clone. Because you know, the way France sources its players, they are very diverse. So you have even Morocco's in the team. You have so many Africans in that team who understand the way you play. And Morocco has also began very well. They've always used their fronts. I mean, their game style is very interesting. They play like France. The difference between Morocco and France is that I think France has a more of a swifter front.
Yes,
And
very
Mbappe-
sharp.
the Mbappe
And
Olise-
many options. And they have
the
many
Mbappe
options.
Olise connection is
Yes.
serious.
Yeah.
Forgetting Dembele too as well.
Yeah. So that would be the only downside. I think that would be the only effect that could create a challenge for Morocco. But I mean, Morocco should try their best to meet, because I think in 2022 they met, right?
Yeah.
Hakimi and Mbappe met.
Yeah.
And Mbappe gave them that pace. We'll push the ball and they will run.
Yeah.
Anyway. let's see what
Anyway,
happens.
so tonight, Spain, Portugal, final one. What do you think? Who's going to win? I just want predictions. Felix says Spain.
Well, I'm going to say, you see, I wanted to go with Portugal, but I think Portugal is not giving me that kind of zeal I want to see it. I mean, I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo fan.
No doubt.
Then, looking at the game against Croatia and Portugal not handling the match like I want them to do it, I beg to differ that Spain is just going to just torment them, and at the end of the day, just get away with it.
You know what's funny? I agree with my two guys. You see, if you look at the trajectory, each of these two teams needed a weak team to get more goals. Spain had to follow in Iraq or Iran.
Yeah, one of these teams. Yeah.
Portugal had to also fall on the hand and then get more goals. So they all have not faced any tough side since they began the tournament.
Yeah.
This is the first time they are meeting co-equals.
Yeah.
So it will be actually a match on the level ground. It's a who is who match.
Yeah.
So I can't tell who is who at the moment. It's on the ground. It's on the
Remember,
pitch.
there's this battle between Lamine Yamal and Cristiano Ronaldo. So I want to see the actual
It will
showdown.
play off.
I want to see that because
It will
I
play
really-
off.
I want
I've,
to see it.
I've always said those
it will play
comparisons
off, yeah.
are unfair because Ronaldo started football as a winger. Now he is a striker. Okay, so I think that it is unfair to compare Ronaldo to Lamine Yamal. Look at the age gap and the difference on the achievements of Ronaldo. I feel like it's too much pressure on Lamine Yamal.
And-
So I mean, but football fans will always be football fans. They will always see football stuff. So fair enough. But personally, I think that is an unfair judgment between even Ronaldo and Messi. I keep saying that comparison is not fair because of the positions that they play in. It's the reason Ronaldo has more goals now. But we often say Messi is the most all-round player on the pitch, that kind of a thing. But it is what it is. So we'll see what happens, and then hopefully when we come back here next week, we hope that we can still talk about Morocco and Egypt. So that's how we end the Hello Africa morning show. Today has been an extended version, and we hope that next time we'll make it a bit more interesting for you. Catch us same time next week on the Hello Africa morning show. My name is Philemon Edwards. Bye-bye.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV.